We have ourselves a crazy game today, or at least it looks like it's going to be a crazy one. It's going to be Boit in the blue as the Nuwa player, and he's going to be playing against Magic in the bottom left, the red Frey player, and of course casted game of Age of Mythology coming here. And actually Boit sent me this one, and he sent me three games, and said they're all bangers, so I thought I'd pick one at random, and it was Nuwa versus Frey. Now he's playing up against Magic, so just to put everyone up to speed here, Magic has qualified for Boit's tournament, and he will be in Athens. So Magic really stepping up. He's obviously one of the goats of Age of Mythology for the longest time, but did have a bit of a break. It being a game that probably the average age is going to be about 30 that would play this game, I guess. Definitely from the demographic of my YouTube videos, it's 25 to 40 is the standard. So obviously we're going to be having our own life going on, and I think Magic has a pretty big job. So he was off doing that, and now he's back to his old self. And Boit, of course, no slouch when it comes to playing AOM. I think he likes to say he's not very good, but I think that's a little bit cap right there. Anyway, we've got the Kwafu Chieftain coming out as the Nuwa. Anyone wants to play China, Nuwa is the easiest build order in the world. Everything to food. Get out a Kwafu, get out your Kwafu Chieftain. You're done. It's nice and simple. Do we have any good relics? I think someone's already picked up a relic. Looks like Boy's picked up a relic. Healable Heroes regen, which is nice. I think this is more taking it away from the Frey. I mean, late game, this is kind of going to be big for the Nuwa. Nuwa has some good heroes later on that I can't remember the fella's name that does the big stun, but maybe we'll see him a little bit later. I think it's Li Jing who does the big stun, and if you can heal him up and he can survive for a little bit longer, then that will be nice. It's like Magic has found the fast-cutting sword, which makes inventory move faster. So Bjorn of the Barrow going to be a 5-point speed boy, and that means he's going to be able to get, what is this one? House. House is cheaper and build faster. Bleh. Not an exciting relic. And then Herdman and Hoplite Spearman, Catapelty Hero, and all of these guys have slightly more damage. Now, one of Nuwa's bonuses is she does like the cavalry, so you could potentially see Magic grabbing this relic, going for something where he's going to just grab a handful of Herdmen. I think Herdmen they're decent. You don't want to build them unless there's an abundance of Cav, and to be honest, I don't even know whether Herdmen beat Tiger Cav in the late game. As Tiger Cav, they have that little guy that jumps off the horse, and then he's essentially like a little militia, and he's going to kind of soft counter the, I don't know, Catapelty Heroes or whatever it is. In this case, obviously the Herdman. But maybe if you went Forseti, obviously can't do that as Frey, but Forseti maybe makes it a little bit nicer. But anyway, we're going to be seeing Ula as the god for Magic. And then on this side, we've got Genu for Boit. I know Boit's a big fan. Well, we've kind of casted together a little bit as of late, and we're on the same stance, the same viewpoint, that we just don't like Earthwall. I think Earthwall just takes so much fun out of the game, even if it is fun, and that's how to. So he's deciding to go for Genu. Even if it's not the play, it's going to be the play in this one. I think Genu's good as well. She's very good for that super late game. If you're going like into like an hour game, like she's pretty cracked, because I think it's every 4 units that dies, you get another free one with that reincarnation. So that's kind of crazy. The chillin as well. If you don't want to go into these Kwafus, I think we saw Soup do it a little bit ago. Maybe you go in for like 5 or 6 Kwafus, and then you stop the Kwafus completely, and then just start spamming chillin, which is really cool. And it looks like the Kwafu's coming over here, and I imagine this is a second town center. Kind of makes sense. The settlement is going to be started by those clay peasants. It means that you can get there slightly quicker than the Kwafu building it. And holy hippos on the backside. Haven't mentioned, but the map is Nile Shallows, and this map goes crazy sometimes for the Huntables. Whereas if we move back over to Magic's perspective, does he know this is happening? He's sending a berserk. I think Magic's very good at scouting at the right times. It's one of the things that kind of the OG players are very, very strong at. Their fundamental game. So Magic is going to be looking for that one. The chillin from Boit, trying to stop that one from actually finding the town center, and he is going to be winning that fight. I imagine a hearse is going to come over. No, it's going to be another berserk. And actually Magic's going pure berserks for the time being. I kind of rate that. If you want to just get some units on the field, getting some berserks out makes sense because they train really quickly and they just have high damage. The issue is they don't survive very long, even though they are pretty quick with that grass-cutting sword. And I think the Chillin on this side will go down. And not reacting to that one. Could delete it. I don't know whether he did delete it just to stop the favor going over to Magic. But Magic sees the town center going up. And now he needs to make a decision what he's going to do. But Boyd's already got the units out too to defend. Dao Swordsman and Fire Archers. The classical China army is very, very good against the classical Norse army. It's normally a struggle. If it's 1TC versus 1TC, it is a struggle for the Norse players. And you might be thinking, why? Why is that? Well, Dao Swordsman, you're going to be coming up against, and Throwing Axeman's good against those ones, but the Fire Archers are very good against your Throwing Axeman, and there's nothing really good against the Fire Archers. Yes, you can get your raiding cavalry out, but you need so many raiding cavalry, and it's just a little bit tough, to be honest, especially when lightning weapons comes down. But obviously Nuwa doesn't have access to that one, and it's just a very, very difficult time, basically. But one thing that Norse can do, we'll see actually from Boyd's perspective potentially, that he has seen these little red dots coming across, but something that Magic needs to do is he needs to get some raids off, and it's what the Berserks do excel at. But Boyd's seen this one. He's attack moved over there, and the Berserks are going to have to run. Can do a little cheeky wall over this side. You can do a 50, even you can do that to have a gate on it, but I think you probably just need that over there. Might be even just whack a house over there. You could whack 2 houses over and it would actually make itself, which would be pretty crazy. It's distracting on this side to try and get some damage done on the bottom, but Boyd not falling for it at all. And that is going to force Magic out. I don't think he's lost any units yet. Potentially a Draugr is going to go down on the backside. But all Boyd needs to do in this position, as the Nuwa on the 2TCs, is just defend. He's happy. He knows that he's going to slowly pull ahead. Needs to see that that is actually happening, which he's looking at now. Skylands are coming over there. Probably needs something over here. But what's Magic doing on the response? Just pure Berserk, just still going for it. One thing I do want to know is, does he have an armory up? No. But Asgardian Hill Fort is going to go up, and I imagine this town center straight after. The reason I'm asking for the armory is because the armory upgrades are so cheap for Magic as Frey here that it just makes sense. It's such a hidden bonus for Frey. Not really a hidden bonus, it's just a big, big bonus. And no Reading Cavalry out for the Frey for this position. And boy, trying to get some good damage done while this Asgardian Hill Fort's going up. And the Fire Archers are proving to be a little bit of a problem on their kiting micro away. The Berserks have 5% Pierce armor. They really don't cut it in the main army here for Magic at all. They're great raiders, but you need something else. You need raiding cavalry, even getting some hearses out. Actually, Gollum Bursty forced out is kind of wild as the 1TC player, forcing that out 8 minutes just to get his hill fort up. But I think he kind of needs it. I think Macro's kind of gone a little bit wayward as well, but Magic notices it nicely. So that 1k gold is going to be just sitting there with no villagers on there. Can the Gollum Bursty even get over to do anything? Looks like our blue player here just ignoring it, and then as soon as the Gollum Bursty gets close, vanish. Tries to get as much damage as possible before getting away. But I think Magic will be able to have his hill fort up. This is so sneaky. There's 2 seconds left on that Gollum Bursty, and then I imagine the blue units are all just going to start attacking. 4 seconds left on that hill fort. Do you just start or just continue to actually build that guy up or not? So many Fire Archers in this backside. 1 second, hill fort does manage to come up, but these Fire Archers, they are good against buildings, so you do have to watch out. Throwing Axeman on this backside, not really getting attacked at all. And this is looking painful for Magic in this position. He's getting pushed back from the 2TC player. And this kind of 2TC into Dao Swordsman Fire Archer was something that Soup did. Well, I mentioned him earlier with the Chillin. This is something that he did in the tournament recently, which caught a lot of players off guard, that because of how good Nuwa's eco is with these Quafus, with these hero Quafus, you can actually pump out so many units while on a second TC, enough to defend the Frey and even aggress onto him, which is absolutely wild. But what is Magic doing in response to this? He's kind of spamming out onto the wood at the moment. So not thinking about the next stage, maybe thinking about a town center. Thing is, I really liked this town center earlier when you had the Gollum Bursty. It doesn't matter if you grab a late town center as the Frey in pretty much any matchup, that as long as you haven't used this yet, Golem Bursty is a get out of jail free card, but at 300 favor, you're basically never recasting this one. You'd rather spend it on anything else. I mean, how many Draugr is that? How many Rock Giants is that? Absolutely wild. And then Void does get to the next stage. How many Quafus did he go for? So he went for 5, so can spend his favor on other things. So it's going to be his infantry upgrade to get them a little bit more damage, and then there we go, reincarnation after 5 of the same unit die. Okay, so not 4, 5, still pretty good. I imagine Quafu comes down, starts dropping Bowlays on Machine Workshop. Machine Workshop on the front is also, well, it does also make sense. You can grab the siege weapons. While this is going on, Magic does have the dwarves, and he will be able to spot this blue unit going past. I don't know whether wait, maybe going for the back huntables as it was a safe position. Not expecting Magic to be here, because he could be over here where his units are and his Asgardian hill fort is. Kind of being a bit greedy. Does only lose out on 1 villager, so he'll definitely take that one. And yeah, I think Voigt's going to this backside, but Magic sniffing it out, knowing that that's likely where that tiger was about to head. You just got to be on that one, and did manage to notice that one. Unfortunately, leaves 600 food behind, but what can you do? And actually what he does is he just shift clicks out of sight and then back to the food. I absolutely love how many top players do this. It's something that I've definitely started to do. You just take your units, you right click out, you shift click back, and it just makes your units disappear for about 10 seconds, which is all you kind of need. When you do it so much, you can judge how long the units will kind of take to get over there, and it's just kind of crazy. And the Hersa will be winning this fight. Double Hersa, going to be, maybe 1 Hersa goes down, but 1 Hersa for a Baihu, you'll take that all day. And the town center, it's going to get aggressed on by this siege crossbow. Guardian hill fort's both in the same spot. Fortunately, these throwing axemen are getting caught out by the ox cart. Oh, ox carts, they be a bit big sometimes. They are in the way. And as Frey, you're going to get that free repair rate. As other civs, this would be costing you gold, but Frey does not care about this. And this is why I say the Golem Bursty is so unfortunate. I can see why he dropped it, but it'd be so good in this position. Throwing axemen, though. Now you've got the Huskarls out. Huskarls against the Fire Archers much better than not having them than having the Berserks. I think he's got such a good comp up against this army now. I think what Magic needs to do to get himself back in this one is potentially raid up this top side would be nice, but more than likely just take a good fight with his kind of counter units. If he can micro this next fight, he's going to be in a great spot. Issue is Fey Beast. Fey Beast does so much damage to those backline throwing axemen, but the Berserks do get onto the back. Look how much damage they do. They do it so quickly. Villager's going to turn around and shank, but it is not the choice. Quafu's turning around and throwing their big stones. Good idea, but peasants with their little knives, not so good. But actually, does the Quafu just go down anyway? A wild amount of damage. You can also take down the hero, Chieftain. Don't know whether that one's worth it, but boy, is respecting it, running away anyway. Also going in on this bottom side. I imagine the Berserks are going to go, oh, look at him, getting so much damage done. This hero does come back for free after a certain amount of time anyway, though. So you do have to be cognizant of that one. Town Center going to be going down, but there is a Tempest as well as a Fey Beast. I would have assumed you wait on the Fey Beast when there's a Tempest in, because they're all going to get some damage done, but actually, it seems to be cleaning house pretty nicely. Rather than trying to run, the Void blue units are so slow. And there's going to be 4 seconds left of this Tempest. I imagine the Huskarls can just run back in, take care of all of these frosted units. Do need to get some big damage done. Taking down the siege crossbows is kind of big too, because they're expensive. That 300 resources right there. And Magic loses his town center, but he does hold. And he got some big damage done here. The issue is that enough against a player that's been 2 TCs for about 10 minutes? I'm not sure. But Asgardian Hill Fort number 3 coming up. I think when I play Frey, I don't do this enough. Maybe this is just a sick play. Just getting the upgrade. Does it show up when you go like this? Which one is it? I don't know. I don't even think it's one of these. There's one of these upgrades somewhere, which makes your Asgardian Hill Fort cost a lot less to recast. And I think it's just worth spamming up, especially if you've been fighting, got a lot of heroes out, can do some big damage. Then sit back, defend with your hill forts, and you don't have to spend all the resources on them, just the favor. Feast of Renown is a crazy upgrade too. which means that when your units sit next to these Asgardian hill forts, they do heal up as well, so it makes them even better. Oh, he is slowly aggressing forward. Even though the Freyr's behind, you can't just let a Frey sit there. You always have to be doing something to him, because he can always come back in this game very, very quickly if he can, basically. Just you see this amount of upgrades that are coming through. Heavy infantry, half price. Bronze armor, half price. Shaft mine, half price. This is why the Frey, you can't let him sit back. You've got to keep doing this. So I think the aggression at this point is the right call. Gatherers over here, they are hunting very, very nicely. And the Bowlay on this side from Boyd. Nope, they do not spot. He does not spot that one. Basically, the players here are playing in half of the map, but there's so many gold mines around this portion of the map, the 2 town centers, that can definitely do something there. But for now, the aggression coming through from the blue players on this side. What kind of armor upgrades are we looking at? Just full copper for magic. I think some bronze something just came through. Bronze armor, which is going to be nice. I wouldn't mind a bronze shield coming in as well. Always got to be having an armory upgrades coming in as the Frey. There we go. Because it just takes so damn long. Oh, actually, ballistics was on the way. It's just doesn't look like an armory upgrade to me, but it is. And I think magic can push back out at this point. There is a Bowlay there, though, so nice play from the Nuwa, retreating back to that point. I think maybe now it's going to be favor spent on rock giants. Yeah, the rock giants in that queue. Definitely makes sense at this point. You've got a nice army here with the heavy upgrades, and you're getting some good bronze armor in. The rock giant just needs to come in, taunt up some units, or even just start snacking on that building if he really wants to. Boy also only has a couple of siege crossbows here, which don't do anything in this fight. The taunt absolutely huge, allowing those Jarls to just get some huge damage off. And actually, Boy is forced to retreat on this position. I think if you're magic here, you just need to take out the Bowlay. But no, he's just carrying on, going for the fight while this is going on. Takes himself a town center on this top side as well, while Boyd secures himself a gold mine on the side. And there is an Asgardian hill fort being dropped somewhere. Not actually sure where. Did not see the Mythic Age coming through, and I don't think magic did either. All of these units going to get pushed back in to all of the blue units. And I think that is goodbye to all the throwing axemen, all of the Jarls. Maybe one Jarl's going to get away. Where did the Asgardian hill fort get dropped? Just another one. They're all together. One did go down, I guess. He's just replacing the one that went down. Why not? What's the building situation for magic? He's got 4 of each building. No levy upgrades because they just take so long to come through as the Frey. You just end up needing so many more buildings when you're playing this god, as everything just takes so long to research. Fortunately, attack move bug gets Boyd pretty good there. It likes to attack buildings currently. You've got to be right-clicking the unit you want to take down. Also trying to take the settlement is a bold choice. Need something for these rock giants as well. I don't know if there's any heroes in this mix. No, Li Jing is on his way, though, as Mythic Age is in. And that means big heroes to come in, start dealing some damage. Even the Qinglong is decent against these units as well. But the full Jarl throwing axemen, Huskell, comp, mostly Jarls though, are going to be pushing Boyd back. He's spent a lot of resources there getting to the next stage, building a town center and the like, getting all these upgrades and everything. I think he just got a little bit caught out. He's got probably enough buildings for the Chinese players. They can start to get attachments and stuff. So I imagine if we go here, there'll be sort of some attachments. There isn't actually. You just need to hit N on everything. Get those attachments in. You can start spamming units out and mighty quickly. And we're actually seeing the Chuko Nu. Okay. I don't think we ever see that. Oh, here's the Qinglong spam. The old reliable Qinglong spam. We've not seen it for a while. But or at least I haven't. It's so busted with Li Jing. If you can micro it properly, where Li Jing, you need to have that on the manual cast. You need the Qinglong on the manual cast, or at least pull them back. Kavoth is probably the best player to do it. and it is absolutely disgusting against a Norse player, where the only ranged heroes they have are these Godis, which they do good damage when they get close. The issue is that they're really, really slow, and the Qinglong can fly over the trees and stuff, so you need to constantly be microing these dragons. I think actually the first player to do this was the Mister, when China was first released, and these guys were quicker, they did more damage, and it was just absolutely disgusting for somebody microing these noodles beyond belief. But full pop, full villages up for Boit, gold mine secured. Magic grabbing the back town center. Actually, is he going to try and play for a 4 TC game while also going Vidar? I kind of rate this one for Magic. He's pulled himself back into this game pretty nicely. The advantage is still with Boit here. He's in the Mythic Age, but there's going to be a Vidar to come through very shortly. The stun just on the Rock Giant. Kind of makes sense. Get rid of that Rock Giant before the fight. It's a free stun at the end of the day. I mean, as long as you're not fighting right now, you need to play around that stun for sure. And what you could also do in this position, huge taunt coming in from the Rock Giant, is bring the Qinglong out. Your opponent here has got 14 Godis. 14 of a unit, which is basically just like, I don't know, let's call it like half a throwing axeman. You've got like 7 real units here. But anyway, Magic is grabbing that 4 town center. This is the play. I kind of love it, especially with how quickly you can spam up a town center as the Norse player is respecting it. No Rock Giant upgrade. It's kind of interesting. Rock Giant upgrade does allow you to snack on those buildings, as we mentioned earlier, which means you can just regen up a tree while also still taunting people, doing the damage. Maybe just because he's not on the aggression. Oof, Qinglong damage. Look at all these throwing axemen going down, and that's all that Magic is building. About 30 seconds left on Vidar, though. And now the Wuzu Javelinier coming out as well. The other reason that Godis kind of suck is they get countered by so many units in this game. It's not even funny. The Wuzu Javelinier, this really cheap unit that costs 10 gold. The Peltas, the Slingers, basically any melee normal unit. Because all they have a bonus against is myth units. It isn't like they're an archer that has a bonus somewhere else. And the big Fenris Wolf going to be coming in. I don't know if that's how you use it, but apparently that's how Magic uses it. A lot of damage coming through. I think it's worth it to get some damage on the run-up. The explosion does the most damage, but if you can get a little bit of run-up as well as the explosion, you can do nicely. But maybe this is just enough. The units are so low. The Fafnir is going to come in, do AoE damage on everything. He needs to be in a different group to these Rock Giants, though, because he's not a slow boy like these Rock Giants are, thumping around. Nice play, though, from the Li Jing, trying to make sure that Fafnir is not getting the damage done on these blue units. But for the time being, Magic, he's in a good spot down here, stopping this town center, getting all his upgrades in. What are we seeing? Some raids coming through from Boit. Does he notice the back TC as well? No, he hasn't. But he can assume that is the case. But is taking gold mines nicely himself, also trying to secure this gold mine, but does see that Magic is on it himself. White Horse Cavalry, though, are they good enough against one Herdman and all these villagers? If I'm Magic here, I just take about four gatherers, convert them into berserks. Did he do 4? Oh, he did 6. Okay, I thought maybe I'm a pro player. But no, it isn't. You don't even think. You just drag a few, you press the button, and then you go back somewhere else. At this stage of the game, when you've got 3 TCs, it doesn't matter. And nice denial. These gatherers can go back to doing what they do best, gathering, surprisingly. And these guys can probably build a wall. I'd like a wall, something like this. Doesn't have the gold right now, but I would like a nice wall to come in. That would be ideal. Whereas, boy, while this is going on, all this distraction action has managed to secure himself his own 3rd TC. I think that's what Magic needed at this point. He's still in a fine spot, but that would have really pushed him back into that kind of equal position that he needs to be in. But as Frey, this stuff is slowly going to come in, and when he gets this power spike in probably about 30 seconds time of all of these upgrades, so he's getting Twilight of the Gods, that's human soldiers, all have more HP. You can get the Berserk upgrades with Vidar. I wouldn't mind going back into those Berserks now the upgrades are in. It's kind of cracked. Even Rock Giant upgrade. wouldn't be too bad. What's happening up on this top side? There's just madness everywhere. This is what I mean. You can just grab everything. There's no reason not to. As that is going to put a stop to the market in the corner. And maybe this is the market that Magic wants? I think maybe he would prefer it down this side. Because this is the TC that he's going to. He'd get slightly more gold up on this down this bottom side. The Qinglong raids coming through. This is when you need the Asgardian hill forts, Asgardian bastions to come down just to stop these Qinglong raids coming in. The Noodles are going to evade. They are going to run back. And there's just stuff happening absolutely everywhere. And Magic thinks the same thing, so it's like, right, I'm not going to overstep. My units can sit back here. Do I have any heroes? I have 9 Goaties chasing these Noodles around. Okay, hill fort down. Good decision. Bowlay's still up on this point. And a random heavy axe cart coming in. They're tanky as hell against all these berserks, but does manage to secure himself the fortified town center. Still up. Can get his masons now. It's a little bit rough to get these upgrades when you're still building villages because they take so long, but now you're at 88 villages. It's kind of fine. More berserks need to get converted on this top side, otherwise you're going to be in a losing fight with that hero Kwafu. Look at these rocks. Oof. It makes a horrible noise too. Those poor guys don't think Magic's noticed. There's just too much going on. Is this the OG Fafnir still surviving, barbecuing villagers on this bottom side? Whereas Li Jing getting the damage done as well. What's happening? Great haul down here. Nobody gets this big hammer upgrade, and I'm so sad. Yeah, I know there's probably no point getting it in this game because the only heroes you need in this game are Goaties. The hill fort upgrade is wild. At least it looks wild. Getting all that HP in. It's better than a healing spring. If you could drop a few hill forts on whatever position you want to attack from. And wait, force back in the middle. But I think he's doing well. He's got his corner set up. This is what he wanted. He wants this corner for a 4k gold mine and then a market. But I think at this point you just take a big wall. For some reason these peasants don't want to build walls for me. You just take a big wall and that'll be nice. But now the Berserk upgrade's coming in. Fury of the Fallen, which is you get a little bit of a boost on them when they die. This one, you do a little bit of damage after their idol. This one's a bit weird, but Magic's army is kind of terrifying wherever it's planning to go. We do need to see some side builds, I think. At this stage of the game, you don't just want to be full force into each other, unless you're Magic. Maybe you do want that with all these rock giants and the like. Even just sending like random siege weapons, random rock giants. Like if you could take 3 rock giants with the upgrade, just put them on any town center. Just start snacking on that bad boy, just munching the town center. You need to force a reaction out of your opponent. What Boyd would probably have to do is delete one of his good heroes, build him back at home, or send Li Jing back, and it would take him kind of a while. I wouldn't mind seeing that. And this exactly, Boyd's doing the right thing. Send one random siege weapon in to force a reaction. This is all this is doing. Force a reaction from Magic, and he does have to come over. And maybe you force something like this. You force too many units here. Like this is too many units, which means that he could potentially win this fight in the middle. The Qinglong spam does not stop. We've got 3 out already. The trade is going to be starting up. Now, what does Magic do in this as a response to this? Does he see the trade? No, he doesn't. But he sees the gold mine. He is going for it anyway. Actually, he's going to be coming on this position. Huskars, they're not bad at taking out Bowlays and things. They're pretty quick getting over here. 5.3 speed. Can go after the Bowlay. Now he sees the trade. The reason I'm asking what does he do is, do you set up your own trade? Do you go down to the bottom, start setting up trade, get some walls up? Or do you take this advantage of your opponent is slowly going to have less population than you to play with, and you can capitalize on it? It's got a high risk, high reward, because you could just straight up lose when you run out of gold mines, but it's kind of big. it's kind of big if it works. Now they're burger easy. What else does this upgrade do? So just... Yeah, they do more damage too. Okay. They're not really there for the damage, though. This is the damage to buildings. They're there to do this. They're to taunt in the units to stop these fire archers doing any damage to these throwing axemen. Huskar raids coming up on this side as well. The Huskar raid on the top side did stop. But the noodle spammage. What can you really do against this as Magic, apart from just build Goaties and just have them everywhere? I think you just need a couple of Goaties everywhere. You could also build Draugrs. I don't know how Draugrs trade into Qinglong, as normally ranged ones have a double multiplier rather than a triple. But maybe Draugrs have a triple, which means they could trade pretty well. But if anything, you're just trading equal, you probably want to be spending that favor on Bergrizi or something like that, or even just getting more of these Asgardian hill forts down. Big fight in the middle, though. Both players fully committing to a fight, which hasn't really happened, as they've been trying to split off into different positions. Or the Bergrizi without the taunts trying to come through. This is when Boyd needs to take a fight, when the Bergrizi do not have taunts. And Magic, he is running back, trying to keep these guys alive. Sitting underneath the healing spring of the Asgardian hill forts, working out well for him. Does he have any Goaties? He's got 3 left. Boyd doing a great job of sniping those down with those Wuzu Javelineers, making sure that they cannot do the damage to the big noodle ball. We've got only 8 kills, 10 kills between them, 11 kills. Okay, they're racking up pretty quickly. I guess if you've got this much favored land, you can just spam them out as much as you want. Because these heroes have more HP and more bonus damage versus Smith units. There we go. The upgrades that you just forget about when you don't play the Chinese. 30% HP is kind of big. Where is Li Jing? He's already got 400 HP, so he'll be one healthy boy. It does cost 30 favor though. That's like 1 and a bit Qinglongs, isn't it? Or pretty much 1 Qinglong, and they're 24 favor each. Berserk raid on this top side. I don't think Magic has built any trade at all. Move over to his perspective. No, there is one lone market right in the middle. So he is doing the option of he needs to get something done right now, as he needs that gold mine. Actually, this gold mine or this one is a must. Otherwise, he's out in about 1,000 gold's time. I imagine the market rates are awful. They're not great. Can't be selling food anymore. When it gets down to 24, that is the awful trade rate. And these couple of fire archers just tickling down the villagers, it seems like, but they will go down at some point. There's no aggression. And a 200 favor Tempest. It's kind of a last resort at this point. But can you just wipe the army and that's enough to get a gold mine? I mean, that's all Magic needs at this point. He needs a gold mine and then he'll be fine. Jarl's coming in, dealing so much damage to everything, or slowing it down at the very least. But you see how much damage it does. These peasants all going down. Kwafu going to be going down. I don't think Boyd really cares about that one, but he does care about the tempo of this position. He needs this gold mine to be or not be Magic's, basically, and that's why the towers are going to start coming up. Boyd's fine. He's got 20 or like 23 trade caravans, it looks like. Oh, can't be him. 13. He's only got 13. The gold mine matters to him as well. I thought he's been spamming those out. It's only been from one market. At this stage, when you want to be transitioning fully into it, you want 2 markets, even a 3rd market, which is what he's doing now. There's markets elsewhere, so he's got them in the queue. But Magic can actually clap back here pretty nicely and does get himself a gold mine for 2k gold. What does he need to do while this is going on, though? He needs some trade. Or he just needs to full force and push right now. It's up to him. Asgardian Hill Fort, number 2 that's up on the map. But I mean, he must have used this. Must be the 6th Asgardian Hill Fort, maybe even the 7th. That's wild. Pascal's. Pascal against 3 peasants. Pascal runs away. Peasants too good. Maybe it was the Kwafu coming in with the big rock that scared them away. The gold mine is mining out very, very slowly. Not too many villagers over here. Still not starting the market. It's a conscious decision at this point. I just think he needs to. Ox carts coming up everywhere. And that's it. He's going for it. He's going for a last-ditch effort. Portable rams coming in. Just 3 portable rams coming out of 4 Asgardian hill forts. Apparently he's building them everywhere. I don't know why they didn't come up earlier. Needs to push somewhere, and he's going down for this bottom TC. This does also put a stop to Voigt's trade to this. I don't know why it's going to this one, to be honest. It's because he swapped the market down to the bottom position. Okay, I was like, this is a terrible town center to trade to, but no, he's swapped the mechanical ox caravans to go down to this side, but hasn't fully walled it up yet, so the ox caravans are getting a little bit confused. And Magic switching the play pretty nicely. Will be able to take this out with the 3 portable rams. Does he have the upgrade? No, he doesn't, but doesn't really need it. The upgrade gives them a little bit more damage. But if you have 3, I think they got plenty of damage. Like how quickly this town center goes down. The issue has been the issue all game long, though. How does he deal with big myth units? Big myth units from Nuwa. And the issue is he's really struggling to deal with them with his 4 Goatees. He must have built so many Goatees. What's the Goatee to Qinglong ratio during this game? It's got to be, I don't know, like 10 to each Qinglong or something. Maybe not that, maybe 6.
Yo.
Champion Berserks, Bergreasy. Goldmine going to be finishing up. I think Magic's someone to always play a game out, so if he's not building trade at this point, he must think that he doesn't stand a chance in a very late game situation against Nuwa building trade. So that's got to be the case right there. He can sell for a little bit if he's just gathering loads of wood, loads of food. Could be an option. There's going to be more Bergreasy on the way. Goldmine is about to finish up, but I think the mechanical ox caravan trade is looking mighty healthy at 41. In we come again, though. Round 4. Well, I think it's round 2 on this town center, but the town center is definitely going to go down. And you know Norse, they can build this one up pretty quickly. And then you don't need any gold to build Bergreasy. That is something that maybe is a hidden benefit here. The myth units, they don't always cost gold, whereas every other unit does. So build this TC up, get up to... it does cost gold to build the town center, though. That's the only problem. Cancel the units, build the town center, get up to full population on 4 TCs, and push. Goatees doing well. They are doing well in this position. So many peasants coming in. Unfortunately, a few throwing axemen. Huskarls on this position, not doing anything. The Goatees tickling those water noodles in the sky, but they're not getting microed back. But they are stunned out. The stun. The Qinglong without the stun, not as good, but the settlement will go up. Will it stay up is the real question, as these Bergreasy's, they've only just become Bergreasy's in the grand scheme of things, so they haven't had their lunch yet. They need to be taking this one out. But can 3-4 Bergreasy's out damage? I don't know how many peasants this is. 21 peasants rebuilding this one back up. It looks like they can't. Not all of them are rebuilding anyway. But the Bergreasy numbers kind of cracked at this point. What's going on? Heavy axe carts coming up to the top side and taking out this town center is so big. Forcing the gold mines, forcing the gold to be spent on this settlement is massive. He's got no gold to play with at all. So essentially losing 300-400 there is not great. So many rock giants. How do you deal with these rock giants? Stun them out, but he doesn't really deal that much damage, to be honest. These Bergreasy, they just have so much armor. That was the taunted version. Even a lot of armor without it. Just need to be spamming out just heroes yet. Pioneers, sages. I'm surprised to not see a sage before this point. Sages do steal the Bergreasy away, so they can taunt the opposition as well. Which should be using their special against themselves. Kind of a why are you hitting yourself moment. The 2 White Horse Cavalry raid. Oof. In a normal position, you just convert those to berserks and you're fine, but a lack of gold. But he can stop Voigt's lack of gold as well. I thought that Magic's been out of this game so many times, but he keeps creeping his way back in so nicely. White Horse Cavalry Raid coming up on this top side, but I think they're no match for the town center. They're going to be fine, but the ballet going down, the market going down. The issue is, on this position though, is that the market can just be rebuilt at the top side. So close, Magic, so close to walling this one off. Stop the trade on the top side as well. Could be really sneaky to be able to do that one. But not something that he's managed to do quite yet. And Voigt, rightly so, takes that town center and can go up 4 to 2 TCs himself if he can manage to grab this town center while this is all going on. But so much happening. Not enough gold in the bank. Obviously, these mechanical ox caravans have not been doing anything for a while because they're going to need to run all the way up to this market. And do they have gold in them? Some of them do, so he will get a bit of an influx to be able to build a few more units out. I just love the noise they make when they start munching on those buildings. Oh no, I think he tried to build a gate there, but it's turned out it's not his wall. And Bergerizzi's on their own. They don't cut it. The Berserks are going to be on the way. The Huskars, still the same comp. I rate the comp. Nothing against that. Just they need to be in the right place to get your rock giants out of dodge. Whereas Jingjia here, the stone walls from Magic could be deleted. I think that's the play. Get rid of these walls to get out, or just force the fight. But Li Jing, this is a fight he wants to take every day of the week. He doesn't care how many rock giants there are. They don't do enough damage to him. And they're all going to go down. But there's 5 over here. 6, sorry. There's 6 over here. There's a 6th one off my screen. They're still going. But now the Bergerizzis are going to be coming out for Voigt as well. I'm surprised he hasn't had... I think there's a limit of these, like 5 sages or something. Or 3 sages. I'm surprised he hasn't had a max amount of sages this whole game. If you can match the amount of sages to however many big myth units your opponent has, say it's Bergerizzis or Frost Giants or Colossus or whatever, just take away the same amount. Maybe not Colossus, they're not as good to pinch, but definitely ones with big specials like Bergerizzis, and Voigt does take that one. God, Magic made him work for it though. What an absolutely wild game. Appreciate it for Voigt for sending me that one. Kind of crazy. I want to see how many Bergerizzis there are. I just click around until something shows up. What is it? Mythology. 27 Bergerizzis to 27 Qinglongs. And then 64 Godi Heroes and a Dream.